everybody. Welcome back to the REDX Podcast. I'm so glad that you're here. Today we have a new guest, someone that we haven't had on the podcast before. Yvonne Arnold, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Haley. This is fantastic. I was so excited when you guys reached out.
Yes, we're excited to have you. And I think we're going to be talking about a lot of cool stuff that to team leaders and things that will benefit agents as well. But I'm excited to get into our topic. But before we do that, do you just want to give a brief introduction, who you are, a little bit about your background?
Yeah. So I originally got licensed in real estate in 1989. So it's been quite a while and quite a journey. I always tell the little story that I actually started in this business much longer than that. At 14 years old, I used to walk to my older brother's office, real estate office from school, and I would answer the phones. So I have been dubbed the original ISA. So I used to answer the phones. I would make a check mark next to the ad that I would cut out of the magazine or the newspaper that the person was calling on. And then I would say, just a moment, let me transfer you over to a realtor on duty. And so I always say if a 14-year-old can do it, so can every realtor that's ever licensed. So, it's kind of a fun trivia button there. And then, so my husband and I started working together in 1994. I left the title insurance industry. I was in the title insurance industry for about 10 years prior to that. And then we were in the middle of a crash of Southern California, and it was the aerospace industry crash of the 90s. And I left a really great paying job and went to work in real estate. So I always tell people, if you can make it in a hard market, you will make it in every market. And so this market right now is challenging a lot of people. Yeah. And so hang in there, because if you stick it out and you figure out how to grow your skill set and become really good at what you do, then every market will be fantastic for you. You'll never have a down year. Let's put it that way.
I love that. I think that's a huge theme that we try to preach too, is just consistency and stick with it. And like, I think I've talked to I've done this podcast for years, and I've talked to so many agents. Like, I was talking to somebody who was like, yeah, I stopped prospecting. I stopped like doing lead generation because market was really good and I was having a lot of business. And because I stopped a few months down the line, I didn't have any business. And so staying consistent and making sure that you are always generating leads, always looking, building your business. Right. And I think
you're only as good as what you're doing today. And
I love that.
Everybody forgets, they get caught up in the success they might be having. I've got 2 pending transactions. I've closed 10 so far this year. I'm rocking the house. No, you're only as good as those 2 pending transactions. When they close, you're done. And if you have a goose egg month, that can last longer than, it's like the baseball player's slump, right? If you get too far into that, those slumps don't go away very easily. And so we always talk in 90-day cycles. And that's when I started coaching in the industry. I went in kicking and screaming to that because it wasn't what I was looking to do. It was 2009. And I was like, we had another global crash. Okay. And we had just launched a big 180-acre, 35-lot subdivision in North Idaho that my husband and some partners and I had developed. And then we have the foreclosure market. And we looked at each other. So John and I said, hey, we have to divide and conquer. So I came up to Idaho. He stayed in California, because when the foreclosure market hits, my husband and mother-in-law become the REO listing agents. I become the buyer's agent. And then I came up to represent our property and figure out how to get lots sold in a crashed market. And so it was a very interesting time. And so I got asked if I wanted to start coaching, and I was like, not really, but okay, whatever. And so 16 years later, I am still in that consulting mode, and now I really enjoy it. In fact, I kind of had to figure out who I was as a coach or consultant. And I really determined really quickly what it was. I was tired of being in the industry for so long and watching people die broke. And they die broke, literally die broke in our industry. The consumers don't understand how difficult the real estate agents have it. They don't realize that most agents might look like they have money and they do not. And it's very tough because you have to spend so much money to stay in business. And you have to really hustle. So I got tired of watching literally people die broke. And that's when I said, there's a mission here for me. And so teaching agents how to build businesses, not just sell real estate, right? I always tell people, if you're talking to me, you already know how to sell real estate, because I'm not going to teach you how to sell real estate. That's up to your manager, your broker, your team lead, your sales manager. Those people teach how to sell real estate. Okay. If you're talking to me, it's because you are doing business and you are all over the board and chaotic and don't understand how to take that business and make money from it and then be profitable. It's funny. We always have said, take somebody who makes $1 million a year gross and find out how much they keep. And so I did this with somebody and they said, I said, how much you grossed $1 million last year. How much did you actually keep? And they said, well, about 250,000. Okay. So I said, what's better? Grossing $1 million, keeping 250, or grossing 400 and keeping 200? Okay. The only difference in that is learning what to do with your money. And how to spend it and not overspend it and not run around like a hotshot. Okay. Which we have that in our industry a lot. And the other side of it is not just that part, but it's also, you don't have to work so hard for 400,000 gross. Like you have to work for $1 million gross.
Right.
Okay. So now you're buying back your time, like the book Dan Martell wrote. You're buying back your time, and you can do that by growing it and by adding people, like we're going to talk about team members and all of that. If that's who you are inside, if you're not that person, that leader, that person that likes to help others excel, then you probably shouldn't be a team leader. Okay. You should get a product like REDX, make your calls, set appointments, go on appointments and repeat and get others to do all of the grunt work underneath, the behind the scenes, the paperwork, the administrative, the marketing. Just go have fun, sell real estate. Okay. So that was my mission as I started helping people with their businesses. And so now I've got my consulting business and that's what I do. And I'm really excited. I get to tell you you're the first one I'm telling out there publicly. I am launching a new school community, and school, SKOOL, called Built to Profit. And that's going to be the first week of August. And it'll be accessible to anyone who wants to actually learn how to build a business. And so I'm putting the price point at a place that people could get in there and really do stuff. And so I'm very excited about that because I want to help the community and help more people than just the onesie twosies.
I love that. Congratulations, by the way. That is amazing. We'll have that. You'll send the link of that to me and I can put that below for anybody that is interested. So, wow. Okay. Well, and that made me think of like how people get into the business because of how flashy real estate agents are, and they love to buy the really nice car, but then they can't make their bills at the end of the month. It's just, it's a unique industry. That's for sure.
Very.
It's great. And it has its pros and cons, and people leave their 9-to-5 jobs because they want flexibility. They want like to do things on their own. They want to, be their own boss. But at the end of the day, it's still a business and you have to treat it like a business. I think that is, like you said, one of the biggest mistakes that agents make is they don't treat it like that. And they're kind of willy-nilly. But so going with like a team leader, or let's say a solo agent who is interested in building a team, like what is, and you said not everybody, right? Like not everybody wants to be a team leader, not everybody should.
Mhm.
But if you are ready to scale and you feel like you'd be a good leader, like what does that look like? Like where for solo agents out there that are thinking about it?
Yeah, that's a great question. And the answer to that, I think, is different than it used to be.
Hmm.
First off, if somebody says, I need help, I'm busy and I can't do it all by myself, then the very first thing they have to understand is technology, and they have to understand people. Okay.
Hmm.
So if you're still saying in your head, I'm not techie, I don't know how to work AI scares me, all of that stuff. Well, first off, you need to get a different script in your head, right? I am going to be 61 years old. And if I said that, I would not be sitting on this call today with you, right?
Hmm.
So, always staying ahead of what's going on. AI is like my new best friend. It's
Hmm.
some of the easiest stuff you can learn how to do, and it works for you, right?
Yes.
So don't be afraid of it. That's number one. It's not going away,
Hmm.
and it is going to be bigger and better than you can ever imagine. People, though, have to play a part in that. So, as a solo agent, the very first thing that I recommend that somebody do is do an analysis of what do they have right now. So the very first thing
Yeah.
I do with somebody that's new like that, that says, help me build a business and help me
Hmm.
add some people and some things so that I can do more. Okay. We audit what's going on in their business. Like, what are they paying for right now? Are they buying a product like REDX? What are they paying for all these other things? What's getting auto debited out of their bank account that they don't even know about? Okay.
Hmm.
They have forgotten, right? We do the audit really fast. And then we determine, okay, is this benefiting you? So let's use REDX as a product because it's an excellent example. Solo agent has the REDX platform. Let's say that they use it sporadically.
Yep.
They maybe use it twice a month to make some FISBO and expired calls. And they might set maybe one appointment every 30 days with it. Okay. Okay. You've set one appointment every 30 days. That's 12 appointments a year. How many appointments are you good for on conversion? If I'm 12 appointments a year and I go and say, I can convert 3 of those to listing appointments.
Hmm.
Okay. I'm good with that as a consultant to that person. I'm like, don't you think you probably should use it a little more often because your conversion rate is 30%, right?
Right.
30 to 40%. I always say, how do you make the home run? How do you get on the top of the home runs in baseball? Well, you hit 300. That's 3 out of 10 hits. Okay. Nobody thinks about that. It's such a small number, right?
Right.
So if I'm hitting 3 hits out of 12 on making calls through the REDX platform, that's probably a platform that I want to continue paying for.
Right.
Okay. But now I need to utilize it at a higher level. So
Hmm.
how do I build my team to help me utilize it at a higher level? Well, do I dish off what I'm doing, spending and wasting all my time doing every day that I shouldn't be doing?
Hmm.
And do I figure out how AI is going to help me do it? And if I need to get a VA, right? VAs are
Right.
the best utilization of your money if you know how to work with them. So I'm a big fan of hiring an international VA from another country. I have a 30-hour a week VA right now. I've had her for a little over a year. I mean, 30 hours a week is a lot of time
Yeah.
to have somebody do stuff for you. She does like tons of things that half of it I can't even do. I wouldn't know how, right?
Right.
But she does stuff that I don't or shouldn't do. So you
Ah.
teach yourself how to do that first. Now, what happens when she's doing that? I have more time to use the product that makes me money. See?
Mm.
So you have to determine what's the need. So that's what I do is I find the gaps inside the business, and there's usually only top 3. I go after the top 3 gaps. You don't have to fix everything at once. Just fix the top 3 things. And it's usually get rid of the things that you shouldn't be doing, give it to somebody else, use AI to help you with some of this stuff, like CMAs and things like that. AI can help drastically. It's crazy. And then go do the things that are your money-making activities. Because, there's only 5 areas that make money in real estate: lead gen, lead follow-up, buyer appointments, showing up, listing appointments, price reductions, and negotiations. If you're doing anything else and you're still in production, you're not doing the right things. So I am a big fan of finding the gaps you can fix super quick.
I like that. That's like leverage, right? When it comes to AI, VA, you're just leveraging other things to give you more time, which I love, because I think, and this is why you're in the if someone's in the conversation of wanting to start a team, they're already successful, right? They know what they're doing. They're closing appointments. They're doing all the stuff, and they just need more time, but they don't want to work 80 hours a week trying to do all of that. And so leveraging your time, I like that. What else, like, what other gaps do you see? Is it like in mindset, systems, like stuff like that you think
it's leadership?
You see in team leaders?
Leadership. They're called team leads, but they're truly not leaders. And that is a huge issue in our industry. I have seen more people start teams for the wrong reason than ones that start them for the right reason.
Really?
And it's really unfortunate. So how do you fix that? If you're listening to this right now, don't just start a team because you have too many leads. That's a worse reason to start a team. Okay. You have to actually decide what type of model the team is, because there's different models, right? I mean, there's these giant teams being built out there, giant. And I've coached several of those team leaders. And I will tell you, several of them are excellent leaders. I mean, they were born to lead. They don't even want to be in real estate. They don't want to sell. The very first thing that a born leader does is take themselves out of production. They are out of production. If a team leader is still in production, more than likely they're in production for one reason. If they quit, their business tanks, because their income is what's covering the float. Okay. So the top leaders know immediately to take themselves out of production. A person who says, I'm never going to be out of production, I love selling real estate, great. Then your model is going to be different than that. And really all you then need is the model that is production partners. Now they're called partners, but they're not partners in the business, because they're not writing a check for 50% of the expenses. Okay. Right. They are partners from a perspective that I have a listing, my production partner is going to work on it with me. However, I'm the lead agent on it. That production partner is going to make a smaller percentage, and it's not even 50%. Okay. But think about this. If I'm a producing leader, okay, producing agent, and I've already got my admins in place, my transaction and listing coordination and marketing are all being handled, my foundation of my business is solid, then now I'm closing, let's say, 40 deals a year. I want to leverage my time. I'm going to bring in a production partner, and I'm going to pay them I've heard anywhere from 8% up to 25% of the transaction, not even close to 50%. Okay.
Yeah.
My production partner that took over my business in Southern California, 10% on everything as boots on the ground. As he started doing more, it went up to 25%. And now he is full agency, and he sends me a referral fee. Okay. But that took 8 years to transition me out of my business. Okay. Everybody's got a different model. So when you start doing that, now I'm going to learn how to lead one person. I already lead my admins, my operations team. I'm okay with that. I've learned how to dish all that marketing and all that stuff off. That's a good thing. Now I need to learn how to change the business, because the very first thing I coach and consult on people is say, hey, you should probably be turning over your buyers. You can control sellers. You can control listings. I can work on listings from anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
I cannot work on buyers anywhere in the world. They take boots on the ground, in person, showings, activity, right? So get that production partner that comes in. And I have consulted team leaders who have 5, 6, 7 of those partners. And they're doing 125 deals a year as a team like that.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting model, and it's really profitable for all parties. That's the key. That you have to want that person who's your partner or that person that's on your team to succeed as well. You can't make all the money and they can't be minions. Okay. That's not right in human life. Okay.
Right.
So it's a very interesting thing. And then the bigger challenge that most people have is, what do you have them do?
Yes.
Right. What tools do you give them? What is a team member doing? Right. And how do I get them to use the stuff that I have that I'm paying for?
Yeah.
Okay. That's leadership. It's also setting a standard and standing by your standards. If you don't stand by your standards, then nobody else is going to stand by them either.
Right.
So if I go, okay, I love REDX, I'm going to use this product. Well, I want 5 people under me that are working with me in this team situation, this model that I've built, to use it as well. Well, then when they come in, I have to be very explanatory that, hey, this is part of the deal. You will use this product. I'm going to train you on how to use it. I'm here to answer your questions, and so are the team behind the scenes of that product. And every single day, this is what you do. I had things as a high performing agent. A high performing agent by themselves has things they have to commit to doing every single day to be successful.
Right.
So do the team members. Most teams, team members come on, they want to be their own independent agent. They just want to use your brand because you're the one getting all the calls because you've got all the signs out there. Well, there's a term for that. It's called leech. Okay. Right. They're the blood sucking energy vampire that's sucking all your energy, but not giving you anything. Right. So it's a two-way street when you go and start building the team. On the team members side too, they can't just say, I just hand me some leads and I'll go take them. Oh, and by the way, I want a 90-10 split from you as well. I've got those kind of clients. And I'm like, you realize we are going to destruct your whole team and restructure it because you built it incorrectly. So it's very painful if you go down that road for a long period of time, because when somebody then like me comes in, I go, this isn't working. I mean, you might like the fact that you can say I have 10 people on my team. However, you're busting your ass and they're not, and they're just coming to you and asking you for more commission. Okay. So it's the old broker adage. So this is why I'm very adamant about learning what model you are, figuring out what your tools are, then figuring out your minimum standards. If someone joins you on your team, what's your minimum standards that they're going to have to comply with to be on your team, just to be next to you, right? And that's a big deal. And then that keeps you, now all you're doing is you've got the right person. They're a yes.
Yeah.
Put me in, coach. Tell me what to do. I'm available 7 days a week because I'm a realtor and I work 7 days a week, 24 hours a day in the beginning, because that's what it takes to make money, right? In real estate. And then hold them accountable to it. And then don't micromanage them. Teach them how to do the deals, teach them how to do the transactions, and then let them go and do it. And then when they come back, ask them, how could we as a team have done this better? How can the transactional listing coordinator help you more? How can the marketing department help us as a team more? Right? Because that's where then it becomes partnership. So
I love that production partner. I haven't heard that before. I love that, like, and the mindset that that gives your team member that they're a partner in this business and they need to pull their own weight. And like, I'm here to support you and lead you, but like, yeah, you're a part of this team. I think just the connotation of that is amazing. And like setting the right expectations at the beginning,
Mhm.
because you're right, like if you're the team leader, whatever you say like right when they're joining your team is that's going to be hard to break down the line. And that's why they need people like you, consultants who are like, okay, this isn't, no, let's not do that. um
Right.
and then they can set expectations with their team members, and then yeah, like and I mean, we talk to team leaders who use our product too, and they have a hard time getting their agents to prospect. And that, I mean, if like you say, it comes down to leadership. As long as you are setting the expectations that, hey, we're calling expireds and we're calling them, like I call them at 8 a.m. every morning, and that's what I expect you to do, then that's, I mean, if you want to be on the team.
It's kind of think about it. If the biggest challenge that happened during COVID was people
Hmm.
got used to working in silos by themselves,
Right.
and then they'd have their office meetings on Zoom and all that. Hey, we are a people business. I
Yep.
mean, what was the word that we were what were we during COVID? We were required to be in business still. What was that word? We were
Oh, essential workers.
essential. We were
Yes.
essential, right? During COVID. Well, when you're essential, what did that mean? It meant that you could show a house and you could go tour a house and you could, you know, to escrow closing companies, title closing companies, they were essential. They had to
Right.
put the plastic walls up, but they had people coming into their office signing docs still.
Mhm.
So you can't allow now, 5 years later, the same mindset to happen. Now everyone should be in the offices. You need to create that culture of, hey,
Mhm.
I'm here. If I'm here at 8:30, 9 o'clock, and I'm getting on my calls and I'm doing my expired, my for sale by owners and my calls and my past clients and my sphere and all of that 3 days a week, should I be able to expect you to do it as well?
Right.
I should, right? So, and so when you have people that are like, yeah, I'm an independent contractor, you can't tell me when to be here. Well, that's a dead giveaway
Mhm.
that that person is not fit to be in a team structure. That
Right.
person could be a top performing agent. Let them go do it on their own. Don't spend your
Mhm.
money, your time, your energy letting them be in your world.
Mhm.
Okay. There's a lot of us out there. There's 2 million realtors in the United States. Okay. So don't feel tied to the outcome of this one person. And and then I tell all of the people that if you're that team member, if you are that team member and you go, I can't be told what to do, and I'm a 1099 and I'm this and I'm that, yay, go
Mhm.
start your own business. Okay. And then call me up and I'll tell you everything you're doing wrong. So, because at the end of the day, yes, you are an entrepreneurial spirit. Okay. But you're not an entrepreneur. You can't call yourself one until you actually run your own business.
Right.
Okay. Now, team members on teams that are successful, their team leaders have first off hired the right people, brought in the right team members, affiliated with the right people. So they're a good culture. Now that team leader is helping them be team owners. They're helping them be
Mm.
business owners. They're teaching them how to track and measure their numbers, how to pay their taxes. They're teaching them
Mm.
all those things. So some of the highest and best team leaders that I know and am affiliated with, I mean, I would at 61, I'd go hang my license under them again now. I would do it right now today. And I would just say, I make 45% with you. I'm in. I'm going to do
Mhm.
everything you tell me to do because they're so giving of their skill set and helping others raise up. I have a
Mhm.
really great story of an agent that owned her own team, had about 12 or 13 people on her team. She imploded the team. And she had a coach, she had all these things. And she just said, it's just broken. She imploded the whole thing and went back to just selling real estate by herself. Nobody called me up, said, I need your help. I want to build the team the right way this time. And I said, okay. We got all the foundations set up, hired her assistant, got her systems in place. At 11 months after we started, she came to the call and I said, I looked at her and I smiled. She goes, I have to tell you something. And I said, I already know. You're going to go to work for that other team lead. You don't want to run your own team. How'd you know? I said, because I can tell you're struggling with this. And that's why I say it's not meant for everybody. Do you know that on a 50-50 split with that team lead, this agent makes $200,000 to $250,000 a year and has now bought, I think, her 10th or 11th rental property. See, it's not about the split. It's about the end. It's about the profit, no matter where you're at in the business. And so I always tell people that story. And I'm like, don't discount people that are on teams at lower splits. If they're utilizing that team leaders, all of the things that they're offering, all of the systems and platforms, all of the training, all of the management, all the transaction coordination and listing coordination, and all of that, all they're doing is making their calls, setting appointments, going on them, writing contracts, and repeating. You can do a lot of business when you're utilizing everything that a team offers you. See, so that's my take on being a team lead versus being on a team yourself, and then utilizing and getting people to use it. I just tell team leads, you cannot force somebody to use a product or tools. You just can't. They're either going to say, yes, I'm in, or they're going to fight back. And when they fight back, you should probably remove them from your team.
I love that. That's a powerful story in the sense of like, there's probably a lot of agents who are like, well, if I'm doing well enough, I guess like maybe the next step is I just need a team. But that's not always the case. And and you can be perfectly happy and successful, even more successful being a team member than a team leader, if that is just not your calling, if that's just not who you are.
And to think about it, you have the people on the team to help you. You want to go take a week off with your family for a vacation.
Right.
You've got people on the team that can help you with your clients. You know, you can turn those leads off. You can turn off your phone. You know, I mean, you have transaction listing coordination people who are high level and they're calling your clients during transactions. Some deals are closing while you're gone. I mean, that's glorious, right?
Right.
So I just think people need to look beyond their nose when they're deciding who they are and who they need to be in the business.
I love that, Yvonne. That was like mic drop, amazing. Like I love that. We're out of time here, but like, what else? Is there anything else like for an agent that's watching this, or maybe a team leader who's struggling? Like a final advice, last words before we sign off.
Yes, I would just say, really determine who you are. I would start with a disc profile of myself. I would read every word on that disc profile. Then I would go and ask people around me, my title people, my closing attorney, my clients, people in my team, my office, in the office. Who do you think I'm best? Do you think I'm a high performing agent? Do you think I am a leader? How do you see me? Right?
Yeah.
Get what other people see of you. And then I would say, then determine what your model looks like from there. And there's multiple different models and it can be anything you want. And so, and don't get pressured by what the industry is telling you should do. It's a big, big problem. The industry has told a bunch of people to be this X, and they've literally gone out and done it. And many of them have gone broke doing it. And they've also become very unhappy doing it. And so I just am a believer of go to your own drum, but figure out what your drum is.
I love that. And I think like, I mean, we've only been here for like 30 minutes and you packed so much in this 30 minutes. So I really appreciate you coming on and sharing your
Yeah.
expertise. And of course, we'll share the links if people want more of this, because we just scratched the surface of,
Yeah.
I'm sure, like of everything that you could do for a team leader or someone who wants to start a team. So thank you so much, Yvonne. We
You're
will have to
welcome.
have you back too, because yeah, like I said, I feel like we just scratched the surface. So thank
Yeah,
you.
no, I'm happy to be here, and thank you so much for reaching out and asking. I just love that.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I'll give you my links, and if anybody wants to reach out and ask me how to help them, I will be here for them.
I love it. Awesome. Everyone that is tuning in, thank you so much for watching today. Of course, we are here same time, same place, Thursdays at 1:30 Mountain Time. That's 3:30 Eastern Time. Thanks so much, and we'll see everybody next time. Bye-bye.